What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy En Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yessi Rodriguez. Welcome and thank you for tuning in on this lovely, terrific Thursday. Yes, I'm going to bring on my amazing There you are. And the amazing Nadine Barton, author, entrepreneur. Both of them are authors and entrepreneurs. So welcome, lovely ladies.
Hello.
Hey.
How are y'all doing?
Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday.
Yes. Almost Friday. We're excited. The weather's been really nice this week. I'm very happy.
Very gorgeous, beautiful. And it's going to actually creep up to the 70s again next week too. So actually, I think it's not over the weekend again.
The weekend. Yep, here in NC.
Oh, wow. That's good. It was 28 degrees here like 2 days ago.
What? Really? In Georgia? That's unusual. What's going on in Georgia? I have to look at
no idea, but they could keep that. I don't want it over here.
What's the high? What was your high today?
Today was in the 60s, to be honest. I mean, they're trying to get everybody sick. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I was with the kiddos today, and everybody was coughing and saying tummy aches, lots of tummy aches today. So I'm like, oh no, that whole virus. I'm like, please don't get me. I don't feel good. Achoo, right in your face. Like, really, dude? Really?
Wow.
No. So it sounds like. What'd you say, Nadine?
So, that's what the kiddos do. How old are they? The age group, CC, for the kids?
Oh, they're K through 8. So they go from 5 years old all the way up to about 12, 13.
Wow.
And so you help with that spectrum of ages, right? Wow. That's interesting. Okay, well, hopefully for the parents out there who are watching and listening, if you haven't packed any hand sanitizer wipes or even hand sanitizer spray, definitely do that, right? Tissue, anything that's going to help keep your kiddo clean and make sure that they're practicing good hygiene at home, at school, as often as possible. So that's important. That's where the germ starts and fungus. Hands.
Yes. And I have a bit of good news to share today with the kiddos. They never cease to amaze me. They've been doing testing all week. And as I was leaving this evening, leaving the school this afternoon, it was a little girl. I think she was maybe first grade, maybe first or second. And I was standing in the hallway and I was speaking with one of the teachers. One of the teachers, in fact, that I'm going to have on the show, because she's like a holistic kind of person and she has just a wealth of information. But this little one, she stopped. She was walking, right? Because it was carpool. So she was, school was being dismissed and she was walking and she stopped dead in her tracks and she looked me eyeball to eyeball and she said, "Excuse me," this little girl, she says, "Are you the principal?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then she said, Then she goes, "Are you a substitute teacher?" And I was like, "Yeah, I help out from time to time here at the school." She goes, "You're a nice one," And I was like, "Really?" And then she goes, "They should send you to the nice sub school." I was like, "Oh, is there such a thing?" But it was so super sweet. And I was just like, in those little, things that happen in your life throughout your day, I was just like, that was just such a beautiful gift from God. This just little person just stops dead in her tracks, just looks me in the eye and just takes the time to have a conversation and goes, and didn't know me and was like, we're one of the nice ones. You should go to the nice sub school. So if there's a thing out there, I guess it's like the fairy tale school and Santa Claus school and all of that. But
always treat kids kind, because you know what, they pay attention. Because if you're not nice to them, they will tell it all, honey. Because obviously somebody was mean to the little girl, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Absolutely. That's really sweet. Aw. I know you, ma'am, have some good news to share that you shared behind the stage. So go ahead and give yourself some kudos as well about the recent accomplishment you had.
Ooh.
Oh yes. So you guys know I'm a lifelong student, right? I just never stopped schooling. But I recently took a psychology of money course, and I did not study for this test. In fact, I didn't even read the book except like the four. But I listened to the teacher, and I believe it is really true what they say about, storytelling and marketing, because it can actually really have a customer or a consumer really buy into your messaging. And so, in the way in which the class was taught, he was really just doing kind of storytelling, and the stories really kind of stick with you because there's real people, real money. It's all about educators. It's about teachers teaching their students, how to handle money and grow their money and all those things. So we were doing a lot of different activities in the group. So it was hands-on stuff and him just sharing those stories via teaching. So I must have really remembered that because I took the test on yesterday. It's a 30-question test. It's only an hour that you get it. And that time goes really, really quick because there was some maths and some graphs I had to look at, looking at the stock market from times way back in the 1930s all the way up until now. And you had to assess these things to kind of see what was happening. And from that storytelling that the teacher taught, it stuck with me. And like I said, I didn't study for this test. I was just like, let's go in and see what happens. Okay. I got a 93%, y'all. Woohoo. So I was excited about that. So it works, you all. I'm like a firm believer of this now. The way you share information with the person really does make a difference as to how it sticks and is processed in a person's mind and how it actually makes them feel, on the inside. And so if you're out there and you're marketing and doing advertisement, or if you're just trying to get someone to learn something, tell a story that will resonate with that person, right? Because if you can kind of resonate and relate to that person, they're going to remember it, right? People remember how you make them feel, right? So that there's some truth to that. So, hey, I had the pleasure of experiencing that just a couple of days ago. So, woohoo!
Yes. Congratulations. We are super proud of you here. Yes, that is amazing. So what is your goal with this new degree? Are you going to open up another branch of business with that? Or what
No more. And this was just like a little, course that I took. I'm always about learning, always making myself better, seeing how much I can make my money grow by me managing my money. I've had financial advisors in which I've paid and I've lost lots of money. And I was just afraid because I didn't understand all the stuff with the stock market and just investing in general. But I would go and I would read books and I would watch, videos on YouTube University, and just meeting with people and mentors. I'm just a researcher when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm like, if I'm going to lose money, let me lose the money. I don't want to pay you and then lose money on top of that. That's a lose-lose. I'm not winning here. So if I'm going to do this thing, just let me do it. So it was really a way of me coming out of my fear, in regards to money and knowing the kind of relationship and emotions and feelings that I have about money. Typically, that's kind of set in place as you're growing up as a child. If parents share, how much they make and how they manage their money and what they have, sometimes you set your children up for success because they know, like, hey, we can't buy this now because we only made $28,000 this year, but our bills are $42,000. So that's a big deficit, right? So I only got maybe, however much money for this paycheck. And so it has to go to this and this and this because these are needs versus wants. And so knowing my emotions that I had with money, I had two. My dad is a spender. You give him $1, it is gone. Okay. My mom is a saver because she has to be. My mom can spend as well, but she saves because my dad is such a spender. And so I had to be able to kind of balance the two. And so in my household, I can spend as well, but my husband is a way bigger spender than me. So then I had to kind of reel it back and become that saver. So the psychology of money, getting people to understand it, how you feel about it is basically going to be how you use it as a tool or how you would let it use you as a tool. There's a stark difference, right? So the money will use you as a tool or you will use the money as a tool. And so I just want to educate myself because in educating myself, we can educate you, the viewers, our families, our friends, and the like. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yes. Genius. See, that's why you're amazing because you took the bulls by the horn or what is it? Bull by the horn. You were like, nope, no more losing money with somebody else. Let me figure this out myself. And you wanted to learn and that's inspirational, right? More people need to do that. More people need to go on YouTube University. More people need to learn how to self-sustain. And I actually want to give a shout out to my honey because he does that. similar to you. When he wants to learn something, he researches and studies. And then he comes to me. He's like, hey, I learned this today. Did you know that? I'm like, hey, I love it. So between you and him, I was like, yes, I have that. I love that. Absolutely. How about you, Nadine? Any updates? And I'm sure you've been on fun sets, right? Any movies coming out that we need to be mindful of?
Nothing new right now. But I'm working on the back end.
Hey, that's what matters, because you put in the work now. It does take some time, right? That's what a lot of people don't realize in the acting world. It does take some time. It's not just you just snap your fingers and voila, the product is there. There's still a lot of editing that needs to be done. Editing takes a good amount of time because we want to make sure that the lighting is right, the sound is right, the edits, the cuts, what scenes are going to go in the actual product to tell the story. So that's the longest part that usually takes a while, is the editing and post-production piece. So definitely
doing it forever, so the back end of it because you've been doing it all your life.
Right, absolutely. Well, hey, I want to say,
one quick thing. I wanted to highlight a movie very quickly. Sarah's Oil, right? You guys have probably seen some of the previews, heard about it, but it's a real true life story about this little girl, a Black little girl. I believe she was in Oklahoma, and her land has tons of oil. And they were asking her, how do you know the land has the oil? And she said, God told her. So she would lay out on the property and she would just, listen to the land, and God told her that she did. I think she owned like over 100+ acres. It's a real story. It's at the movie theaters now. Go and check it out. I love supporting films like that, right? Because it's true story. It's history, Black African-American history, right? That's out there. It's also a story of faith and resilience, right? Of courage, because there was a lot of strife and struggle that came along with it. People trying to bully her and take her land, and so they could get the oil, right? And they wanted to pay her that money. That's why money is so important, understanding money. They wanted to give her a very small amount to pay her so they could make millions and millions upon millions. So check out Sarah's Oil. It is in theaters now.
Sarah's Oil. Okay.
Oil. Thank you for that. Wow.
I thought you were gonna say like Hulu or something, but it's in the theaters.
Got to go to the theaters. Hey, that's actually a good excuse to go on date night or go on family date night, right? When was the last time you all went on a either date night with your significant other or even family date night with your children, bonding, right? Learning together. So that's awesome. Yes. Especially now that the holidays are approaching us, because Thanksgiving is literally 2 weeks out.
You see my face, Yessie? I go on dates by myself, okay?
I feel you, because when I need some mommy alone time, my honey stays at home with our baby, and I'm like, thank you, baby. I'm gonna go on mommy alone date night. Feel you. You do that too? So hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because it's like you're comfortable in your own skin. You don't need anybody else. You're good. So what I do, I put my earbuds on. I put my little movie on my cell phone. I just sit there. People see me laughing and giggling at myself. They look at me and I'm like, hi, wave. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
That's funny.
I love it. But hey, I want to take a quick moment. This past Tuesday, we had Veterans Day, and you two are veterans. So thank you both for your commitment, for your bravery, for your support, for just your dedication to not only helping protect us, the country, and just overall all that you've done. So salute to you all as veteran. I know we're past Veterans Day, but happy Veterans Day. Thank you. And to all the viewers and listeners who are veterans, thank you for your dedication and just service to our country.
Thank you for your support, Yessie. That means a lot.
Absolutely.
It does. It means a whole lot. And just a little quick sidebar, I asked the children, hey, what does Veteran Day mean? Because a lot of Americans don't know what our holidays mean. And so I've been with the third graders this month, and I asked them, what is Veterans Day? And a little boy raised his hand. He was very confident and he stood up very proud. And he says, Veterans Day is when all of the mommies and daddies, they take their pets to the veterinarians, and the veterinarians give them all the healthy medicine that they need. And he was confident in that thing, y'all. He was very confident. That was the right answer. Okay. He just knew it. And I just sat there like mouth wide open, like, really? Seriously? So taking the pets. Okay. So veterinarian. Okay. So he was along. I just sound a little familiar. I don't know. But I had to quickly educate them as to what Veterans Day meant, right? And get them on the same page. And you know what's really sad? A lot of the kiddos don't know, just like a lot of the adults don't know. So one little boy, he said it best, because I had another student raise their hand to explain, because this is not about veterinarians, right? And he said, it's when the mommies and the daddies, you know, that's what he said, the mommies and the daddies, they go to foreign places and they fight for our freedom. And I said, well said. Because what I wanted to get over across to the children was that freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. There's always a price. And so all the luxuries that they enjoy, all the freedoms that they enjoy here in the US of A, right? It's because mommies and daddies like myself and Nadine and other veterans that are out there, they go on the foreign soil and they fight the big monsters, right? That we have. So those monsters don't come in our country. You know, you got to keep it kid language. So they understand it. But yes, thank you so much for that. Yes, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And just hearing that, you know, because a lot of veterans don't make it back, right? And the fact that you two, amongst the others that were blessed to make it back, that speaks volumes. And I'm really honored that you all are here with me.
Thank you.
Whew, yeah. Sorry, emotional moment real quick. You know, when these kiddos just listening to you, just not understanding, some of those kids may not see their parents anymore, right? And that's the reality of this being active duty, providing the service to your country, protecting us. And please, people, viewers and listeners, educate your family. This is very important. Like Cece said, your freedom here is not technically free because it's at the expense of somebody else.
Exactly.
You know, so I want to ask you both a question. Being veterans and being protected by God, making it back safely, right? And being here today, how does that make you feel?
Whew. Every morning I have to wake up and give thanks because I'm like, I reflect and I'm like, I did 24 years in the Navy. You know, I initially signed up for 4 years and the time just went by so quickly. So I'm very grateful, you know, to be here because we could have went on a deployment, like Cece and I were on a ship together. We could have went on a deployment and didn't make it back. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for every moment and all the experiences that I've had in the Navy. I'm very grateful.
And I echo that as well. I'm a combat veteran. I've been, you know, out there, and people like, you're a combat veteran, because people don't think women go to war. We're there. You know, I got the medals to prove it. And it's a different world when you're taking care of people that have been injured, you know, and just knowing that, you know, some of your buddies didn't make it back. There wasn't a single day that I did not pray, like, God, please, just please help me make it back onto my motherland right here, the US of A, right? Because it's not, when things pop off overseas, you just can't be like, well, let me just get in a bus or in a car and drive home. Like, that doesn't happen. And even driving overseas is scary. It is the most, people are like, what are you talking about? It's scary. There's IEDs everywhere. You don't know when you're driving in a desert, you know, just going from one location to the next, if you're going to hit a bomb and blow up. You just don't know what's out there. And so, again, being thankful every day, just to be back here at home, to be able to process everything that you see, things of that nature. And, you know, just to know that the people that we serve here in the US of A, just not my family, but all families, right, that are here on American soil, that, you know, it takes a special kind of person to raise their hand and sign on the dotted line and say, hey, I'll defend my country, you know, life or death, you know. So, yeah, I salute all the veterans that are out there.
Absolutely. And just a quick note for all the veterans out there and the mom and dad that are deployed. I do have a children's book for the kids that you left behind. It's called Love Travels in Uniform, a military guide to staying strong while missing mom and dad. And it's in English, Spanish, German, Japanese, and French.
And where can they find them where they can buy it? The holidays are coming. That'll be a good Christmas gift, stocking stuffer, right?
You could get it on Amazon. Love
right.
travels in uniform.
All right, y'all heard it. Love Travels in Uniform, available on Amazon. In the search box, type in Love Travels in Uniform, Nadine Barton. The book will pull up. I highly guarantee that you're going to love it, enjoy it. It's a good way to educate your family because this is a very, very important topic that everyone should know about.
Absolutely.
Thank you both. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, y'all amazing. Okay. Well, I'm feeling my emotions a little bit, but we got to carry on. All right. So, and talking about serving our country, I want to give a big salute to the TSA workers that stayed helping people make it safely from one location to another while we endured this government shutdown. We had the longest government shutdown in history. And this is something that I'm going to harp on each and every episode. Vote, vote, vote. Midterm elections coming up next year, November 2026. There's going to be House of Representative. All the seats are going up. There's going to be a good amount, a third of the Senate seats going up. You're key to vote and make the change because clearly the people we have in there now, they got to go. They got to go and we need to change. And you know why it's not changing? Because more people are not going out there to vote. So please, if you can hear my voice, si me oyes, por favor, ir a votar, vete y vota, go and vote. I'm going to say it in different languages. If I can speak German and French and what have you, I mean, I speak a little bit of French. But anyway, I would say in every language, go and vote. Next year, midterm elections, November 2026. You do have to look and see where you can based on what state you are in to vote, but this is very important. And then going back to the TSA agents. So in honor of that, during the recent 43-day U.S. federal government shutdown, TSA officers and other essential federal workers continued working without pay. Can you imagine 43 days without pay? You got bills racking up. You got people knocking at your door. You got to pay rent. You got kids you can take care of. Like, how does... I'm boggled right now. So because of that, at a press event in Houston, at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, Noam announced that TSA agents who demonstrated exemplary, somebody help me with this word here, exemplary. I'm getting tongue-tied real quick.
Yes, exemplary.
Okay. I think it's my Spanish trying to come out too. Is like, it's like my Spanish and English are like clashing and they're like, nope, you're not going to say that word today. So service during the shutdown will receive a $10,000 bonus check. That is amazing. So shout out to the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, DHS, Kristi Noem. I agree with that. Like, that's amazing. They definitely.
I'm sorry, yes. Was that all across the border for the whole United States, or was that just in one state?
So it says here, the announcement specified that the bonuses will go to those who went above and beyond, so took on extra shift, helped coworkers maintain operations despite the hardship. It looks like it is going to be across. I did some more research, and it looks like this is going to be across the whole nation. So whoever stayed on, expect to receive a $10,000 bonus check. For those who didn't stay on, sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
Here's the bigger question. Is it tax-free?
That's a good question right there. Oh, man.
It should be tax-free. But of course, it is the United States, unless you're not in the Middle East, where when you get your paycheck and you're stationed over there and you get your money and it's tax-free, I could guarantee you that they're going to be taxing that $10,000.
Yeah, which is
I hope they don't tax it, y'all. For those of you that have never received a tax-free paycheck, I mean, we were over in dangerous territories, but it's really nice when you get all your monies. Okay, you get all your monies. Okay, so I hope they get all their money. Yes.
I hope so too. Yeah, because I agree. That's not right that they get $10,000 bonus, but then they only see a fraction of it because of that. So yeah, I guess we'll see more to come. We'll share some more updates as those updates come. This is actually hot off the press. It took place earlier today, so stay tuned. We'll definitely share more of that information. I had some other topics I wanted to bring up, but because we have a special guest patiently waiting, we're going to go ahead and pivot over to bringing on our special guest. But before doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just play a couple of our sponsors. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Hoy En Día TV.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose. Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cab Zenza's isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth, in the job market, transformation has never been closer, because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessirodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
All right, y'all. So I gave you 3 different gift ideas. Again, the holidays are coming up. We got birthdays coming up, anniversaries coming up. Sometimes we run out of ideas. We're like, what am I going to get so-and-so? We got Inspire for Purpose. We got Nadine's Body Butter. We got Collective Wear. I mean, come on now. We got options here. We're trying to help you out now. If you want to inspire somebody, they're a little lost. They're like, what am I supposed to do with myself? Inspire for Purpose. Dr. C. Andrew, the Actionist, is going to help you get on track and find your purpose. Also, reading books for kids. Learning is essential. Both Dr. CC and Nadine Entrepreneur, they got the great books. Just search on Amazon. Clothing, Collective Wear. We have Hoy En Día TV custom-made shirts by Collective Wear. So if you have a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding party, what have you, hey, get your custom-made shirts by Collective Wear. There's other clothing available. So, hey, plenty of options for you to consider. Holidays are coming up. It's time to get creative. Don't do the normal gift cards. I mean, yeah, gift cards are cool, but it's like, come on, let's think outside the box a little bit, right? So.
And this quality is so good, y'all. The material is really soft and nice and stretchy. It's not one of those cheap shirts. It's really, really good.
Yes. All right, Dean. So you were the connection to help bring on our special guest. Would you do us the honors of reading his bio for us before we bring him on?
Absolutely. So our special guest tonight is going to be Mr. Johnny Tucker, He's the owner of Optimum Detail Solutions in Atlanta, Georgia, and surrounding areas. So Johnny Tucker is the proud owner of Optimum Detail Solutions, a trusted mobile auto detailing company serving Atlanta, Georgia, and surrounding areas. With over 20 years of hands-on experience, Johnny has built a reputation for delivering exceptional results and unmatched customer care. He specializes in high-quality detailing services, including ceramic, coating, scratch, and stain removals, interior shampooing, exterior polishing, RV detailing, headlight restoration, paint correction, odor removal, full vehicle restoration, and so much more. His mission is simple: to restore every vehicle to its showroom shine and bring it back to life, no matter the make, model, or condition. Whether it's daily drivers, luxury vehicles, or recreational rides, Johnny treats every project with the same level of dedication and detail as if it were his own. Known for his professionalism, precision, and passion for cars, Johnny ensures every customer drives away completely satisfied and impressed. He takes pride in using premium products, modern techniques, and a meticulous eye for detail to deliver results that last. Wherever you are, Johnny will come to you. Beyond his business, he's a devoted husband and father whose strong work ethic, integrity, and family values, are at the heart of everything he does. With everything, God is first. For Johnny, detailing isn't just a job, it's a craft, a passion, and a reflection of his own commitment to excellence. So let's bring on Mr. Johnny the Detailer.
How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. I,
Yeah.
I appreciate the introduction. That was beautiful.
You are welcome.
We are thrilled to have you, sir. And that's another gift idea that Nadine just shared. I mean, I don't know the last time somebody, whoever's watching and listening, when was the last time you had your car cleaned, detailed, vacuumed, etc.? Another gift idea
Right,
to consider, right? Hey. So
right.
Johnny, Nadine read an amazing bio, but in a nutshell, who do you say that you are?
Whew. Well, um, there's a lot. There's a lot to that. I'm definitely, I would say, first, I identify myself as a child of God. That's where I would start. That's the very beginning. That's the base. And from there, I would just say I'm a man, just like anybody else that uh, I wake up in the morning and I thank God that I have another opportunity to put one foot in front of the other. I'm definitely a family first guy. Um, I love my family. That's pretty much all I talk about. If anybody know me, they know that's all I do talk about is family. I'm not the guy to sit and watch football all day or that you can really have a sports talk with. I'm kind of a business minded and family oriented guy. With that said, another thing about me would be I love people, which is a blessing that I am in the field that I'm in, because believe it or not, when Nadine was reading the introduction and it was naming all the different things I do, and she got to the part where it said, and much more, I was thinking what the much more that a lot of people don't know about is in this field. Oh man, you have to be a counselor. Sometimes you have to be a therapist, because it'll surprise you how when you're just there cleaning the car, somebody come to you and they're in tears, and all of a sudden they tell you about their relationship breakdown, or that they just lost a parent or a loved one. And so I thank God that I am in a position where not only I'm open-minded, but I'm prepared to listen to people. Because when I stepped into this field, that was one of my prayers. Not only do I want to go into a field that I love, because I love cars, I love resurrection. Anytime I could take something from the old and bring it to the new, restoration, that's me. I love that. But it was like, God, I want to meet people. I want to run into people, and not just for the sake of saying I met this person, I met that person, but I just want the opportunity to share my love, my gift. And also I want it to be an intercessor. I want it to be able to feel what's going on out in the world, so I don't just be numb to everything, because the situations that are taking place, there's people attached to it. We need to know what's going on with the people so that we can address situations. So that's something about me. I would say is a vast percentage of who I am. Is I love to hear the heart of the people and to get to know the heart of the people. Outside of that, yeah, I'm just a man.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, and I'm sure the audience and listeners and Nadine and Cece are curious to understand, how did your journey into the detailing world begin? Because I want to know.
Well, that's a good question. Ever since I've been young, I've always been fascinated with old schools. Old school, y'all into old schools? Y'all like old schools? No,
The old school
no. Oh,
cars?
Old school
yes,
cars.
yes. Old school
Oh,
car.
Yeah.
yeah.
Old, I was like, is it a glitch or something? Ain't nobody say anything. But yes, old school cars, like old school Chevys. I'm from Florida, and so we old school Chevys. We anything 70s. We 70s babies when it come to cars, and we putting the big rims on it. We putting the music in it. So I grew up seeing this, and so I always was in the cars, and I've always wanted to own certain cars. I had my list of my 5 favorite cars. And if I had all this money, you know how it is when you're young. If I had a lot of money, I'll get this house. I'll get it. So I was the guy that had my list of cars. And so before I even came into detailing, the field that I was in before detailing, I would just sit and think like, man, how can I be a part of that life? Because at that point I hadn't reached the money part to be able to buy the cars. And so that's when a friend of mine we was playing basketball together one day, and he said, hey man, I gotta go because I gotta go to work. And I asked him, well, what do you do? And he told me that he detailed cars. And at the time I had no idea what that word meant. What is detail? You know? And so he basically broke it down to me. And I was like, you know what? I want to go with you one day, because he told me, hey man, I cleaned some of the nicest cars you ever seen. And I was like, let me check it out. Just give me a chance to, maybe get to some of these cars I like. And that was kind of like the start of it. I went out with him and I helped him out a couple of times. Even after I got off from work from my everyday 9 to 5, I would come with him and just help out a little bit. And I started to learn the game that way from him. And shout out to him, Mike Green. I love him. He's a big reason why I'm here today. And so basically I just went from there and I followed him. I followed him wherever he went. I said, I'm gonna just go with you. And so he started to grow. And as he grew, he ended up working at a dealership, and he worked at Buick Regal. Now he also had his own business, but he did some subcontracting at Buick Regal. And we would go up there to Buick Regal. And this is where I really gained skill, I would say, is because before we came to Buick Regal, it was one of those things where we were more so glorified car washers instead of saying a detailer. It's like people saying they're a barber, but really no, you just know how to cut hair a little bit. And so the difference was we could wash cars, we could vacuum cars, but I had yet to learn the essence of you need this certain type of spray for this certain type of material, or you need this certain type of application for the exterior paint. Hadn't learned that yet, but working at the dealership, I gained those skills. And oh man, when I tell you, we did some of the nastiest. I thought I was going to come see all the nice Benzes and the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris, but no, it was the exact opposite. But it was a blessing in disguise, because being that I ran into all the nasty cars, these were the cars that got turned back in. So people would get the car, and the car may only have 2,000, 3,000 miles on it. You would not believe how they'd have the cars looking. And they would give them to us, the subcontractors, because the guys who worked there, all they could literally do is wash and vacuum a car. They didn't really know how to get in there and get in the meat of the car and just really, bring it back to life. And so we were the guys, and man, we would get some cars and you open the door, and I mean, it was a whole dog worth of dog hair in there. And we had to learn how to get all the dog hair out safely without harming the vehicle. You might get another car that's all scratched up on the outside. And I learned day by day, different methods. And at the same time, I was like what you guys were saying earlier. I was the YouTube baby. I'll go to YouTube quick and type in, how to clean up the interior when it's full of dog hair, how to remove scratches from the exterior paint, so on and so forth. And so during that trial period, I would say that lasted about 4 to 5 years of me coming up and helping 2 to 3 times a week. And at first I was doing it for free because I just kind of wanted to learn the game. But then it's like, hey man, I'm kind of like helping, So that's when I started to learn the money process. And I initially, my friend who taught me the game, he had been doing it for a while and he was established, but his thought process on the future of detailing wasn't where mine was. And that's where we began to slowly separate, because I saw a field, I saw a future, I saw a business, I saw something big, because it's like, wow, I've learned how to do this. There's unlimited amount of cars in the world. There's an unlimited amount of people driving cars. This is that field that no matter what, it's gonna live, because I don't care how many car washers are out there. Somebody is either too lazy to drive to the car wash, either don't have time to drive to the car wash, or either they're just scared to go to a car wash because of all the scary stories that they've heard that car washes, what they do to your vehicle. And when I had this thought process, it was like, wow, just lights started going off. And so I literally sat down and I probably took a month. I'd say it was like a month where I said, what are you going to do? Are you going to step into this full time? Because what I actually was doing before this was law enforcement. I was a law enforcement officer, correctional officer, actually, in Florida. And I asked myself, is this what I want to step into? And it was like, it was nothing holding me back. I prayed about it. I talked to my wife about it, and she just was looking at me like it's just common sense. You've been doing this forever. You know what you're doing. You see the money in it. Like, what you waiting on? And I just sat down and I got a business plan together where, and nobody helped me with this, as far as like, I didn't go to a professional that sat down and said, this is the route to take. This was all just literally, you know, I guarantee you guys know what I'm talking about. Just sitting down saying, I want to do this. I've looked at it. I've had hands on. I'm just going to do a little bit of typing to see like what the price range is for this, that, and the third. And I'm going to hop into it. And I would say around 2013, 2014, in between that year is when I full-fledged said, this is what I'm going to do. And I began to start my brand. It yet had been Optimum Detail Solutions. That came a couple years back, but it was a sole proprietorship. And that's when I told myself, like, this is what I'm doing. I love it. The money's good. The opportunities there. You know, even during COVID, when a lot of people were non-essential, I still was able to ride around because I was smart. I was slick. I clean. So I'll clean up all this COVID, you know, and I got steam treatments that I could put in the car. There's different sprays that I had that actually mentioned that it got rid of COVID. And these were the things that I implemented in my packages. And whenever I would send out advertisement, I sent it out. And believe it or not, 2020 was my most prosperous year. You know, I hate what happened for a lot of other folks, not putting myself on any high horses, but it was a blessing in disguise for me. And that was a breakout year. So yeah, to answer your question, that was like the start of it. And then, like I say, 2013, 2014 is kind of where I started to get established and kind of really generate this thing into a business moving forward. And then I would say about 2020 was really when everything just came to fruition. You know, I had feet to ground, but 2020, I actually got a chance to see it because the world was quiet. And I felt like I was out there all by myself. At this time, I got rid of all my workers because I had 2 or 3 workers that helped me. And I wouldn't say got rid of them. Let me reword that. But they weren't with me because a lot of people didn't want anybody else except for, it's weird. They only trusted me during COVID. And so I kind of had to let some guys go. In a lot of places, only one person was allowed in. And so that's when I had the time by myself, just driving around in my van. And I was thinking to myself, like, dude, this is it. This is what you can do. And you get to network, you get to meet people. And also the outcome is all up to you. This is what you're doing. Nobody can judge what you're doing based on somebody else's work. At the end of the day, if I did a good job or I did a bad job, it was because Johnny did it. And so, yes.
That's awesome. Thank you. So before I ask my other questions, I'm going to see if Cece, you have a question. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm just totally inspired by your story. When you were just talking, I was just over here on the inside having a whole hallelujah party. Okay, because there's just so much that, like, God is in this thing. It was just this light. You have a beautiful, just like aura, just, you know, spirit, man. And as you were talking, I was writing down some notes here, and you said, you know, because I was going to ask you, one of the questions I was going to ask you, like, do you feel like, do you get a feeling for like these cars that you're cleaning? Like, you can kind of tell, you know, the personality of a person. I was making light in my mind, right? Like, you know, Johnny the Detail, the car whisperer, or, you know, the car psychologist, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff was going on. in my mind and everything, because you were saying, being in tune, and sometimes you're a therapist and all of these things, and people
Right.
share their story, and you talked about, having discernment and being like this feeler in this world, because you have to be. A lot of people are walking around numb and of such, but you're being this feeler, right? Just kind of seeing. So can you tell, right, when you're cleaning a person's car, say you've never even met the person, never even seen the person, they say, hey, my car is going to be parked here and I need you to clean it. You go in and you're cleaning the car. Like, can you kind of feel, like per se, like the energy of the car, like this person, like, they're going, like, because you're a spiritual guy. So I'm pretty sure you're praying over your clients and, wishing them well and, asking God to help them and stuff like that. But do you kind of get a feel for them when you're cleaning the car? Like, other than like, man, this person's a total slob. This car is a mess, right? Any of the other stuff that kind of goes into that.
Yes. Oh man, it's funny. I'm telling you, I would need days to explain to y'all what go on with some of these cars. You definitely get a feel. Now at first, when I first was doing it, I didn't, because I was just so focused on doing the right thing, not messing up, making sure of this, making sure of that. So I didn't even get to go in a spiritual mindset at first. My first, I would say, couple of years. But once I got, that segue of this is what you're doing and this is what God has called you to do, it was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. From that point, definitely, yes. I can, a lot of the times, I can, by the smell of the car, I can tell if this person's a serious person. If this, some people, I didn't even see for a whole year. I cleaned their car for a whole year and never saw the person. And the reason why is because sometimes going to corporate spots, the security or either the secretaries bring out the keys, and it's just an exchange of keys. You do the car, you park it, you get paid. And without me ever seeing the person, my children are the ones that could tell you, because I would come back and tell them. I knew if the person was a serious person. I knew if this was somebody who is kind of frugal, or that kind of is all about money for them, because sometimes you could just tell just by looking at the car, or like I say, the smell of the car. It's so hard to explain, but it's not about whether it's a bad odor or a good odor. It's just sometimes you could tell by the fragrance. And I've been doing this for 20 years. So it's almost like if you were a therapist for 20 years, you can kind of tell when somebody walk in. It's like I'm a therapist to the car. And it's funny that you say the car whisperer, because I tell people that I'm a car psychic. I tell them I'm a car psychic, because I tell them a lot of times I can before they even talk to me, I tell them, I say, you got a black car, don't you? He's like, yeah. Say, you're a Benz or BMW? Yeah, I'm a Beamer. How do you know? I've been around. I've done it for so long. I can know. Now, don't ask me what y'all drive. Don't do me like that. Don't put me on the spot. But you'll be real scared. You'll be real scared. Hey, listen, you'll be scared if I tell you. If I tell you, you'll be like, no, Nadine must have snuck and told him. But no, that ain't what happened. But yeah, I definitely, to answer your question, I do. I pick up some stuff, because sometimes also, while you're cleaning out the car, you see things as well. You see the eviction note sometimes, you see the funeral papers. There's different things that you do run into, and you have to be mindful that this is a business and I can't step out of line. But you can also see it and pray, and that's what I do. Like, oh Lord, I hope everything's okay. I hope they're good. I hope everything's good with their family or their loved ones, especially during COVID. During COVID, it was insane. Every car that I got into, the people weren't scared to hide the papers. The papers would just be sitting everywhere. The COVID papers, the doctor's notes, the doctor's papers, it'd be everywhere. And sorry about it. I would just pray instantly. I hope the family's okay. I hope everybody's safe, because we lost a lot of people during that time. And I feel like God will open the opportunity, because after I would pray, a lot of them would come back and they would talk to me, and they'd be in tears about how they didn't get to see their mom before she passed away, simply because no one was allowed in the hospital or things of that nature. And I get a chance to ask them, are you okay with me talking to you on this? And they would invite me in. And so it's just things like that. It's definitely it's definitely a spiritual essence to this whole thing. When I clean the cars, it is, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Wow. That's very touching.
Nadine, before I ask my question, did you have a question for Johnny?
Yes, that was very touching. I don't know if I was frozen for a minute. I was like, where did everybody go? But the screen was frozen. Yes. Oh my God, what a story. So my question is, just to lighten it a little bit, what's one of the most memorable or challenging vehicles you've restored, and what made that job stand out?
Ooh, the number one I'll never forget was when I was at Buick Regal. And I was at the dealership. I don't know what happened on the inside of the vehicle. I don't know if I don't know if somebody got murdered inside the vehicle. I don't know if it was blood. You couldn't ask too many questions at that time, because a lot of the times you get the car and there is no one to ask. We were kind of like the stormtroopers. Like, they sent the worst of the worst to us, and so they just expect us to do it. Sometimes we weren't even at Buick Regal. Sometimes we were at another spot, and they would drive the car there and leave it. And it was just one of those things. We'd resurrect the car, didn't ask any questions. But the whole inside of this Suburban had red spots everywhere. It was everywhere. It was all over the seats, the headliner. It was everywhere. It took me and my partner 2 days, 8 hours per day, just to get the inside clean. And when I tell you, that's 16 hours of hard labor from two professionals that are in their young stage now. This was almost 20 years ago, and it was rough, and it was probably 125 degrees. It's Florida, it's Central Florida, so the whole thing was just horrible. It was terrible. We did resurrect it, but it was only good enough for the auction. Anyhow, it was not going to be a resale. They were just going to send it to the auction. So that was the worst of the worst. And the reason why, number one, it was already bad, but number two, the heat.
I like your language. I'm sorry, Yessie. Go for it. I'm so excited. I'm all intrigued. Go, Yessie. You got it.
So, because we're talking about spirituality and God, and I believe in the spirits, and especially if you sharing the story about you believe there may have been a murder, right? I mean, for the car shoppers out there, is there like a key word that we should be asking to make sure that like, did something catastrophic happen here? Did it get detailed to that extent? Because I don't want to buy a car that happened to, and the spirits are lingering in my car. Like, no, I'm no.
Right.
So what questions should the car shoppers be asking to make sure we know that story you just shared? Like, what happened here? The car looks beautiful now, but what was the story before that?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, do you know that?
That's exactly what to ask. It's because you have the freedom to ask. If you're buying a used car, I definitely will ask all the questions. Hey, did anybody die in here? Was this a mafia car? Ask everything. I would write a list before you go in. I will say this though, just to for those who are watching, I have never cleaned the car. Well, I've known somebody was murdered in it. I've never cleaned the car. I've never cleaned a car that I knew was stolen. So I would definitely, ask that. Is this stolen? Is this like I say, mafia car? Is this car linked to anything that could put me in any danger? And, and just pray before you go and do your auto shopping, because that is a big buy. That's definitely a big buy.
A perfect example. Have you seen, I'm sure we all seen Barbershop, right? Remember when the guy was getting his hair cut and the girl came over there and started beating the heck out of that car with a bat? And because, the guy her boyfriend cheated on him, and, he was there cutting his hair, and he was like, oh my God, what are they doing to this car? And they was like, oh my God, it's a nice car. And he was like, what color is it? And he ran outside, and the car he said, that's a great car. That's my car. And the girl was like, what are you doing with that? This is my car. I just bought it. So she was beating up the car thinking it was her boyfriend, when it's this new guy that just bought this car. It's crazy. I have to tell that story because it was funny.
I know what you're talking about. I remember that movie.
Yes. Indeed, indeed. So keeping along with that, because you were saying all these words and I was just catching it in the spirit. The Lord was just downloading. So when you were speaking, with your mentor, you being that protege, him kind of showing you the ropes and things of that nature, I immediately thought of, Elijah and Elisha or Elisha, right? Having that anointing. That's what I thought about when you were talking about that. And so it was like that mentor, he kind of passed all that on to you, but then you took it to the next level. You saw that it could be something greater than what it was, right? And even changing the language, not just a person that washes cars, but basically this person that resurrects cars, kind of bringing those cars back to life. So even in that language, just seeing your spirit man and such. And we all know that, like, when you get your car clean and you feel good, it's just like dressing up in your hair, you feel good, you
Right.
roll, everybody looking at you, you feel good inside. So not only is it the resurrection of the car, but also the resurrection of a person, right? In their spirit man, how they think, how they feel, and things of that nature. Now, you mentioned something here about your call and your purpose for the car. And this is what's going to get really interesting, is because sometimes in life, right, we think that our call is so gargantuous, right? It's just so extraordinary. And yours is detailing cars, which is a big deal, right? It is a big deal. But it's like you were touching lives in so many ways just by going into detail these cars. And some of these cars, like I've had, my neighbor had their car detail. It was beautiful. The guy was out there all day. So I'm not really sure how dirty it was on the inside, but he was out there all day, right? But it was beautiful when he was finished, to the point where I was like, we need to get him to come over here and do our cars, right? That kind of thing. So in this whole thing, the call and the purpose, did you know, like beyond a reason of a doubt, when you were like, hey, I want to, be this car detailer, I want to be the best of my field, all of these things. Did you know, like 100% beyond a reason of a doubt, that this was your actual call that God had put on your life to do this?
So I knew, to answer that question in its fullness, I definitely knew that God was going to put me in a position to move around and to meet people on a day to day, to where I would have the opportunity to share the good news and to just spread the goodness of what God has done for me. I knew that without a shadow of a doubt, whether it was going to be detailing or something else. I wasn't sure of that at first, but when the doors opened to where everything was just falling in line, here's a guy that I grew up with. He goes into this field. He's open to give me the opportunity to be an apprentice under him, and I learned. It's like I was praying step by step. Like, God, what's this? Is this my opportunity? Is this that opportunity I've been praying for, to where I'm going to get to go around and just network and meet people and spread the good news? And it's one of those things to where, you can hear from God, but at the same time, it's always still a challenge to know for sure, is this where God is sending me? And so in the midst of that, I've learned a solution, an equation rather, and it's basically faith plus footwork equals the destination that God has for you. And so once I believe and I put the foot to it, if it's not the spot for me, then I'm going to be directed somewhere else. So that's when I knew, once I finally just looked at everything, like, wow, everything's open, is on the plate for me. I've learned the game. I have everything I need. I got all the tools. I got my youth. I got years in front of me. This is it. And that's when I definitely did know that this is what God has given me, so that I can go and I could do this. Yes. And I can add something to that too. The beauty of it is, with anything you step in, um, it's crazy, because a lot of people who I'm not into the whole spiritual thing. I'm not into the whole godly thing. It's crazy because you can give an equation. You can give the same equation to anybody. It doesn't matter. You could sit here and say you don't believe. You believe in something, because if you go to work, you believe you're gonna get a paycheck. If you go outside and it's ice cold, you believe you're going to be cold. But it's crazy that as soon as you start to say, I believe God is going to open doors, I believe God is going to direct me, it's like, oh, here they go, this God stuff. But at the same time, you're being moved in your way. I'm being moved in my way. And leaning on God is what has gotten me here, because I tried to do this without him. I tried to step into it on my own. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna make money. You know, I'm an artist as well. I can render, I can paint, I do poetry. There's other facets that I have. And I said, man, I could do this. And I stepped into it leaning upon my own understanding just because I could do it. And there was availability in different spots to be able to go and perform or to be promoted. And it did not work out, because one thing about it is that's what I had for me. But what God had for me was this. So no matter which direction I would go, those I could never seem to get those things jumping. But when I stepped into the auto detailing realm, it's just like everything would open. Doors would just be moved. Phone calls would come in. I didn't understand how I was going to schedule. Scheduling just happened. Things flooded over. People would tell the whole neighborhood. I would get a whole slew of texts from that same neighborhood. Can you do it tomorrow? Can you do it this week? I've been in positions where my van has been down for 3-4 months, and I've had people say, no matter what, we're not going anywhere. I'm scared to let anybody else touch my car other than you. So this is definitely this is definitely the field that God has had for me. Yes.
That is beautiful. I love that. Maybe go ahead.
Yeah, just to ping on that, I was gonna ask him, and it's a perfect question coming into what you just got off of. What I was gonna ask, what sets Optimum Detail Solutions apart from other detailing companies?
Yes. So the name Optimum in itself, it took me 2 years to come up with that name. I sat around for 2 years just being a car detailing business, trying to figure out what name I'm gonna get. And I needed a name that explained who I was as far as my mindset on my craft, as far as the thinking that I have when I work at the type of job I want to do. And optimum means elite. It means the best. It means the top as far as quality, quantity, everything. It's the top of the echelon. It's not haughty. It's not bougie, but it's the standard of I will get it done no matter what, and I'm going to do it the best of my ability. And so when I thought of that name, Optimum Detail Solutions, even with the solutions part, a lot of people are optimum. A lot of people are this car wash or this detailer, or they're the car spa, the car guy. And I needed something that said that I can get it figured out. And that was the word solution. So I feel like I'm set apart because at the end of the day, even if somebody else does a good job, there's a lot of people out there that do good jobs. There's a lot of people that are on time and dependable, but I will not be able to sleep at night. And as this is not blowing any smoke, if I don't feel like I did the best job I could and the client / customer is satisfied. And those who know me, you can check my reviews. You can call each and every last one of the people I have on my phone that I've ever detailed car, and they will tell you I'll be out there till 10, 12 midnight. I'll come back first thing in the morning because this is more than a job to me. This is ministry to me, you know, and that's straight up. It's ministry to me because I don't take it light that I have. Anybody can go somewhere and make money. And we need to make money to live. That's reality. But a lot of times you're not in a position to minister the way that you would like. God has put me in this position. I'm not going to play around with what God has given me. So that's what separates me, as I take this serious.
Wow, that's awesome. You were placed in that position to be their solution for their messy problems.
Like, hey, there we go. There we go.
That was funny. Yes, I love that. Thank you.
I just started lighting up. But you know what? He did send me pictures, and the before and after. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm like, people keep their cars that dirty, and if their cars that dirty, imagine their homes. I mean, I'm sorry, but I had to say that.
Girl, I feel you because I'm OCD about my car. Nobody can eat in my car. Nope. And if I see crumbs, y'all better vacuum it real quick because we ain't got time for no critters and bugs in my car. No.
Sorry, I have to eat in my car sometimes when I go on set or something. But I know how to clean it up. You know what I mean? keep my car clean.
No, with me, sis, I'm to the point where I pull over. Like if I have to go do a quick stop and I get out of my car and I go to the trunk part and I sit my food on top of the trunk and I'm sitting out eating, sipping outside. Because that's how OCD I am about my car too. Because the stench of food, that's just me though. I'm just like the smell of food and all. I'm just like, I don't want that lingering in my car. But again, that's me. That's just who I am. Right?
Johnny, Johnny, how many you could fill up like a truckload of dirty fries that you found between the seats, huh?
Yes, fries. Oh man, that's actually like the number one. You hit it on the head. It's fries. And what's crazy is they try to blame it on the babies. But I asked them, I say, so your baby sit in the front seat? Because that's why I find a lot of them at it's always in the crease of the driver's seat. They be blaming the poor little babies. I was like, yeah, I sucked up 2 in the back seat, but I'm vacuuming. All you hear is toot 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 in the front seat. I done sucked up 20 fries. They try to blame it on the babies.
That is funny. So Johnny, let's say I'm a potential customer. I reach out to you and say, hey Johnny, I want to book you to detail my car. Walk me through what I can expect from you. How does that process look from start to finish?
Well, it all depends on if we meet in person or we meet on the phone. If we meet in person, a lot of times it's the greeting, hey, how you doing? And a lot of times they catch me in the act. And if I have the time, I'll actually look at their car, free consultation, and I'll let them know that this is what they can expect. And here's my card. And if you're interested, you could text me or call or reach out to my available platforms on social media. And a lot of times the way that it pretty much goes is I ask you a couple of questions. If we're on the phone and I haven't had opportunity to meet you or see your vehicle, I just ask you what's the car, make, model, year. Are you looking for something extensive or something more standard? And could you please send your availability? And a lot of the times that helps people out. They immediately send me the car, make, model. They let me know I need something big. I have 4 children, and you know what that's like. They'll kind of put all that in. And they'll say my availability is open during the mornings. From there, I a lot of times with me, I want to call after that. So I've gained the information I need. That way, when I call, we don't have to go through that first portion. We've already been introduced to the problem, and we got an idea of the day and time. From that point, we just talk it out, and they kind of let me know what they're looking for. I ask if they could send some pictures, and I kind of do everything by quote. I'm not the menu guy. I stopped that years ago. So a lot of people, they want a menu style to where they can go and look and everything is this price, that price. But the thing is it's the same as if you go to a hairstylist, it could be a girl your same height and weight. She could be getting the same hairstyle. Yours might be $100 more because you ain't washed your hair, and so it's different. And that's what I try to explain to them when it comes to detailing. I set a package made just for you. There are certain things that have a price range and I let them know. It's certain things, it's certain add-ons that stay the same and things of that nature. But it's mainly like, this is a package just built personally for you. So if you, Yessie, was to come to me and say, hey, I got this cute little white BMW, but my dog got fur all over the back. I will basically let you know that dog hair removal has a price range of this and that for the hour. And but if you have any pictures, it would better help me to assist you with an estimate.
Gotcha.
And you send me the pictures and we figure it all out from there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's helpful for sure. Absolutely. Ladies,
you don't have a little white BMW, do you?
I don't. You are way off, by the way. I'm not a Beamer girl. No.
I was way off.
You were way out. It's okay. You took a stab at it, and I appreciate that. But yeah, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
Ladies, before we transition over to last minute words, any additional follow-up questions for our guest?
I don't, but you asked the wrong person. CC is a BMW lady.
It was in the atmosphere.
No, I don't.
Indeed, it was in the atmosphere. Yes. No, it's been such
Yeah.
a pleasure chatting with you. I wanted to ask you one last thing. Do you leave any notes in the car, like encouraging words, like, you know, for the people, like, you know, you might have like your card, like, thank you for using your service, but do you like have like any kind of encouraging words that you put and leave in the car for your clients?
I normally send it via text. And I pretty much do that in just about every text, even for the clients that I've had for 10 to 12, 13 years. I'm always sending something, but I normally do it by text.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
We're actually going to transition over to our last minute words, where you have the opportunity to share with the viewers and listeners how they can find you, follow you, book you for your services. If you have an inspirational paragraph, anything that comes out of your heart that you want to share with the viewers and listeners, this is your opportunity to do so. And so to get a glimpse of how that looks, we're going to have Nadine start us off. We're going to have you, Johnny, go second, CC go third, and I'll close out with the remainder of our sponsors.
All right. So as you can see on the screen, my name is Nadine Barton, the author, and you can find me on Instagram at NadiaB_1202 and ADIAB_1202. You can find my books on Amazon or at NadineBarton.com on my website. And of course, as Yessie said earlier, you know, the holidays are coming. If you want to get your skin moisturized with my body butters, you can go to www.cabzenzah.com, CABZENZAH.com, and catch a break and nourish your glow. But on the other hand, you know, you always treat people kind. I mean, I've seen so many things. Every single day I go on social media and I see something where somebody's going off on somebody or saying something crazy. Like one of my producers, Joy, she posted something today. Somebody went into her email, in her messenger rather, and called her the N-word. So I'm like, this world is pretty crazy. So my quote that I always use, and I've been using it in the military, life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. And that's all I have.
Hey, it's Johnny Tucker. Johnny the Detailer is what they call me. Hashtag Johnny the Detailer is on all my platforms, which is IG, TikTok, and Facebook. IG, it's Optimum, OPTIMUM_Detail Solutions. On Facebook and TikTok, it's just Optimum Detail Solutions. Facebook is my main business page. That's where you can either book me, you could see some photos, some before and afters, and a lot of the time some promotion packages. As far as what I really would have to say that's very important is to all detailers and to those who are looking to have their cars detailed, you have to learn the difference. You have car washing and you have detailing. When a detailer gives you his price, he gives you his price based on the fact that he has taken the time, the years, he has the skill, the knowledge. If you want to invest in your vehicle, you call a detailer. If you just want your vehicle clean, you call a car washer. But we got to change the narrative of getting the two mixed up. Not putting anybody down, not putting anybody on a pedestal. It's just it's time that we get an understanding so that we can build a brotherhood. All detailers that are listening to this, you have a chance to see this, man, much love to you. Keep pressing forward. I wish the best. We can come together and we could do this thing. It's too many cars. There's too many cars. No use to feuding over it. Let's get together. I could feed off you. I could learn. You could learn from me. I could learn from you, and we could build a brotherhood, man, and change the game. With that said, my quote that I always like to leave people with is, if you're not going to give it your best, don't do it at all.
I love that. That's a beautiful quote. You have been such an amazing joy. I just feel so much joy in my spirit. So it's amazing just to always have you on. But I am Sandra, the Actionist, the Mindset Strategist with Girls with Gigs and inspire for purpose. Yes, yes, yes. You guys can find me at www.girlswithgigs.com or inspireforpurpose.com. As I always like to say, love and light and inspire for purpose. Remember, nothing positive ever came from negative thinking.
And just to touch on that, Dr. Ciandra, she's the one who inspired my purpose, and she's the one who pushed me to write my first book.
Yes, I love that. That is truly, truly amazing. Thank you all for the viewers and listeners who tuned in today. We have 2 more commercials, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back because I still got to say my last minute words. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy En Día TV, Thursdays, 7:30 p.m.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
All right, so even more ideas for you all to consider for the holidays coming up. You got to be creative. Take somebody on a fun trip. Reach out to Nadine's Travel Oasis because the government is no longer shut down, which means that your travel plan should be smooth sailing. You can get to your destination safe and sound without no hiccups, no airlines being delayed, etc. Also, go on my website, yessierodriguez.com. You're going to see Divine Beauty and Accessories. You're going to see collective wear. And also for those who want to book me for actual one-on-one coaching for acting, hey, I'm here. I'm your girl. We got to get you right because we want to get you booked and right. So go on yessierodriguez.com. I am an acting coach, model coach. I do a little bit of this and that. And for those who want to find out more about me, just go on Google to type in Yessie Rodriguez. I'll pull right up and voila, you'll know who I am. Also, again, big thank you to the viewers and listeners, to our special guest today, Johnny. It's been a joy to have you. We've learned so much. Hopefully we'll have you back on in the new year so we can dive a little deeper. I still had questions, but I was mindful of the time because I still want to know. I feel like there's an extra layer of onions that we got to peel here with your stories. So also your thought about the brotherhood, what sparked in my mind was that's an opportunity for a franchise. Just throwing it out there for you, consider franchising your business, building that brotherhood, right? You'll still be able to make a percentage of profit because this is your vision that God downloaded in you. But hey, so anyway, thank you all again. And like I always say, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. Hasta pronto. See you on next week.